Welcome to Sleepless Readings. Tonight we'll be reading a tale called Zombie Hookers. Pay is low, hours are long, rent is high. I'm coming off a 10-hour shift with the dread of returning for an 11-hour shift in only a few hours. I can't keep this up for much longer. This is my 9th day in a row. One of the staff just got fired and the boss offered me the extra hours. The money is helpful, but I'm exhausted. Soon, though, I will be asleep in my bed. I'm taking the bus home, struggling to stay awake so that I don't miss my stop. The route takes longer than usual because of a thunderstorm, and I make it to my stop 10 minutes late. The walk to my abode from the bus stop is only a minute in favorable conditions. Tonight, there has been a spontaneous torrential downpour of cold rain and hail, and I am without an umbrella. My hands fumble in the cold to find the right key on my keychain, and it's another bit of fumbling to get it in the lock. The lock opens, and I'm back inside where it's nice and warm. Tonight would not be a fun night to be homeless. Each drop of water is so cold it tickles you in a bad way. For a split second, I think I'm about to die and I try to be cool about it. The feeling vanishes and I go back to ignoring my mortality. The elevator is out of order again, so I have to walk 6 flights of stairs to get to my place. The door to my apartment is unlocked and my roommate is doing expensive shrooms. If it had been me who was doing expensive shrooms, I would have locked the door. My roommate is an idiot. It's dumb luck his sloppiness hasn't gotten him arrested for any number of petty crimes. There's acid on the coffee table, mushrooms next to the acid, and a variety of pills next to the mushrooms. I remove my shoes, wash my face, brush my teeth, walk to my bedroom, and there's a dead hooker in my bed. I join my roommate and I ask him,
"Do you know why there would be a dead hooker on my bed?"
"How do you know she's a hooker?" loudly asks my loud roommate.
"How do you know it's a she?"
loudly asks my roommate's loud friend. Together we visit my room and there is no dead hooker. I am baffled. I thought I knew a corpse when I saw one. It appears I have been gravely mistaken. My room is exactly as I had left it before my most recent shift at work. My roommate jokes a little too loudly that maybe I'm the one who's on drugs, and I gotta admit that I'd be making fun of me too if the roles were reversed. How on earth did I misidentify a dead hooker? Hopefully my roommate and his friends are all too stoned to remember this embarrassing event. I change my sheets, just in case. Maybe I should sleep on the floor. Maybe I'm overreacting. So what if I saw a dead hooker? I'm all alone now. If I close my eyes, I'm sure I can forget this delusion and fall asleep. I blink, and there's the same dead hooker from a couple of moments ago face to face with me on the floor, occupying space that had previously been empty. Her face is an inch away from mine, unmoving and unexpressive, just lifeless. I recoil and scream, backing away towards my door. The dead hooker doesn't move because she is a corpse. She cannot harm me unless I'm wrong about cadavers. I am already wrong about lots and lots of things. Do I dare invite my roommate to my room for a second time to see what may or may not turn out to be a dead woman lying lifelessly on my floor? This time I'm keeping my eyes on her to make sure she doesn't vanish or anything before my roommate arrives.
"Was that you who was just screaming like a pussy?"
asks my roommate.
"Holy fuck, there are 3 dead hookers in your room."
My roommate's friend comes to look at what we're looking at.
"Holy fuck, did you know you got 3 dead hookers and a dead pimp in your bedroom?"
I can only see the one hooker, but my roommate is adamant that he can see 3, and his friend is certain that there could be no mistaking of a dead pimp. My apartment is either infested with ghost corpses or someone slipped me a hallucinogen and I've just got to write it off. Maybe it's nothing to worry about. Maybe it is something to worry about. I consider calling the cops, but that would surely fuck over my roommate, and I didn't hate him enough to do that on purpose. For sure, I know there is at least one dead Hollywood hooker lookalike in my bedroom. She looks as though she died of suffocation based on the eyeballs rolled into her skull, her jaw half open as if gasping for air, and the strangulation marks around her throat. Her only company of which I am aware is a 4-foot-long spider with black and purple stripes that has been motionless this entire time, just lying on my bed. I don't know if it's alive or dead. I shouldn't dilly-dally any longer if I'm going to be on time for my shift at work.
I'll see you guys later,
says me to my roommate and his friends before I walk to my bus stop. The bus is crowded and there's nowhere to sit. I'm standing uncomfortably, distracted by thoughts of dead Hollywood hookers and 4-foot-long spiders and what they have in common. I nearly missed my stop. I work at McThirsty's, not the real name, accomplishing tasks as required. It is a busy 11-hour shift. Our fussiest customer makes a big deal about the temperature of our ice. The shift is otherwise normal, and then it is over. I am not ready to return home. What if there are more hookers and spiders? What if the cops are there? They will surely want to ask me questions. They will probably not believe my answers. It could become unpleasant for me. I take the long way to the bus, pondering whether I want to sleep in my own bed or to sleep somewhere else. It's tempting to rent a motel for the night, but I don't have the money. My best bet is to crash a party and spend the night there. There's a text from an unknown number.
It's
my roommate.
Long story. I have a new phone. Phone this number in 2 minutes. Urgent. Fucking urgent. No jokes. Call me in 2 minutes.
2 minutes pass and I phone this mysterious number, hiding my number using number code 4. I'm so sneaky.
Hello?
Says my roommate.
Get here now. I mean get home. Get home right now.
He sounds pretty serious, but he's been wrong before. He's been wrong again and the time before that. I wouldn't be surprised to learn he's wrong now. I shudder to ask him over the phone. Why?
Where are you?
My roommate asks me. Even on the phone, he is loud. My phone is so old, the speaker only has 2 options, on and off, and on is loud enough as it is. I describe my situation and my location.
We'll get back to the apartment ASAP.
He loudly advises me.
A couple of guys totally fucked up your room and we don't know if they were cops or not. They said they will really want to talk to you about something and it's much better for your physical well-being to get home as soon as you can.
Fuck. I've just missed my bus and I can't afford a taxi. And then it's raining. My roommate ends the call before I can ask if he has seen any more hookers or spiders. It's a spontaneous torrential downpour again and I am again without my umbrella. I'm probably fucked no matter what I do. I'd rather be fucked and dry than fucked and wet. I wait in the bus shelter. Maybe I'll score. I don't. My phone dies in the middle of a game and it takes around 40 minutes for the bus to arrive. I receive a text in spite of my phone having just died.
Get home, man. Shit is getting bad.
The phone rings, again in spite of the battery supposedly having died. This is the weirdest my phone has ever behaved during the entire time I've possessed it. I answer the call. It is my roommate.
Where the hell are you?
Asks my roommate. He sounds stressed. I ask for clarification on what is going on.
They have a knife to my heart and they want to sacrifice me to a god I've never heard of. If you don't answer their questions soon, they will kill both of us. Not quickly. They told me how they're gonna do it and oh man, just fucking get here.
Can I answer them over the phone?
No,
says a voice different from my roommate's.
It will be better if you answer in person. If you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear.
The call ends. I don't hate my roommate enough to fuck around during a time like this. The moment I step off the bus, I sprint in the rain to the front door. I open the lock as quickly as I can, run up the stairs, run to my door, open the lock as quickly as I can, and it's very, very late by the time I've arrived home. I am greeted by 5 muscled gentlemen who don't look pleased to see me.
May we help you?
They ask me. They look as though they weight train by playing medicine ball volleyball.
I live here,
I answer cordially.
How nice for you,
is the reply.
What do you want?
My roommate told me somebody really wants to talk to me.
I explain. The muscled gentlemen look among each other, exchange words in a foreign language, and inform me nobody presently in the apartment has any desire to communicate with me. Suits me fine. Nowhere to be seen is my roommate.
Which is your room?
They ask me. That's when I hear sex noises. At least 3 people are having sex in my bedroom. In the kitchen, there are filthy partners wearing cat ears and cattails drinking my beer. Outside my roommate's bedroom door, people are trading cash for contraband.
Is my roommate okay?
I inquire.
Yes, we sent him out on a snack shopping trip,
is the reply.
Am I getting a cut of the action, since it's my room they're using?
I ask. Someone tosses me less than enough cash to cover the cost of laundry, but I lack the wherewithal to contest the amount. They tell me I can stay for a couple of hours and then I have to get out of here. I ask what's so important that they can't do it somewhere else. They reply that's none of my concern, that they'll stay out of my way if I stay out of theirs. I crash on the sofa and watch a streaming service.
Before you get too into your show, we have a couple of questions for you.
Ask the muscled men who haven't explained to me what they're doing in my apartment. Hey, what are they doing in my apartment anyway?
What are you guys doing in my apartment?
I ask.
We're asking the questions.
They reply.
Who have you told about what's going on here?
I reply truthfully. I have no idea what's going on here.
Good answer.
They reply.
If we were in your shoes, we'd continue to not know what's going on here. If we were in your shoes, we also wouldn't enter your room for the next couple of days, or ask any questions about it. Funny things can happen to a guy who knows more than he should.
What about my clothes? I have to look presentable for work.
I contest.
You just received some cash, did you not?
Is the reply.
Why don't you buy some new clothes if you're so concerned about image? You would never know you care about appearances the way you're dressed.
They've got a point. I dress like a bum. I could use some new threads anyway, and it will be a great excuse to leave the house. I fall asleep on the couch, and when I wake up, there's a sex slave holding a knife to my throat and another sex slave holding an apparatus that I want nothing to do with.
He's awake, Your Highness,
says the sex slave to their dominator.
Shall I pleasure him?
I haven't decided yet,
is the reply from the dominator. The sex slave isn't bad looking at all. Normally, I would love to be pleasured by this submissive individual, but the knife at my throat is a little too kinky for me. The sex slave spontaneously dies, with the head vanishing completely from the body and blood oozing from the neck, getting all over the furniture. The corpse falls into my arms. I panic and throw it to the floor. Everybody is staring at me like I've got no respect for the dead.
Was that supposed to happen?
Asks the other sex slave, the one who is holding the apparatus.
No, he fucked everything up. He needs to be sex punished,
says loudly the dominator. I'm in no mood to be sex punished until I see who they've chosen to sex punish me, and I change my mind. I think sex punishment is the best solution here. My roommate, like an asshole, picks this as the moment to return from his snack shopping trip, and he didn't even buy me my favorite kind of chips.
Why is he getting free sex?
Asks my roommate loudly, without having closed the door behind him so that everybody situated in our corridor has surely heard him.
Close the door, you moron,
says one of the muscled men, only he's not a man. The effort of speaking has compromised his costume, and his clothes and skin melt into a pool of bloody liquid fabric all over the floor. Addressing my roommate now is a 9-foot-tall, skinny, blue tree creature with knives for leaves. Nobody seems concerned by this metamorphosis, not even my roommate, so I pretend I'm cool with it and that I'm not freaking out on the inside. I am totally freaking out on the inside. This is the first time I've seen a being shed their man costume and reveal themselves to be a 9-foot-tall, skinny blue tree creature with knives for leaves and a razor blade for a tongue. Additional dialogue reveals each of the other 4 bodyguards to also be blue tree creatures with knives for leaves, razor blades for tongues, and poison for blood. They are just better at hiding it.
Hey man,
I say casually to my roommate.
Are you alright?
Yeah, why?
Replies my roommate.
When you called me, you said you had a knife to your throat as part of a human sacrifice.
I remind my roommate.
I never called you.
Replies my roommate.
Yes, you did, on your new cell.
I iterate.
I don't have a new cell.
Replies my roommate. I tell my roommate to stop joking around. I'm not in the mood. My roommate replies he has no idea what I'm talking about, and did I take any of his new pills because someone did and it wasn't him. I discuss the cell phone human sacrifice story no further. I verify my phone and there is no record of any calls or texts to his new phone. My roommate's room is being used for necromantic science experiments. The people who have taken over our apartment tell us that we may still enjoy the rest of our house in privacy if we want to. We may use the kitchen, living room, and bathroom, but we have to stay away from their business or we will die. Jason Statham would never stand for this bullshit in his own home. I am not Jason Statham. Days go by and there are still people having sex in my room. The more I've gotten to know these blue tree dudes, the more I've become comfortable around them. I wish they'd picked another apartment to occupy and disturb, but they're nice guys. They have agreed to not skin me alive in exchange for doing the dishes. My roommate has fucked off and is crashing with his drug dealer. One of the guards is still a blue tree monster. The other 4 still blend in with humanity. Then one day, one of them says to me,
"You really don't know what's going on, do you?"
I reply that I don't.
"You see," says the guard, "we all thought you knew and that you were pretending like you didn't know. So I'll tell you up front what's happening."
And he then drops dead. An axe lodged in the part of the neck connecting one of his spines to one of his brains.
"I would have had to kill you too if he'd told you,"
says the Dominator, fresh from murdering the guard. The other 4 guards appear neutral to their colleague's death.
"Anyway, since you're still alive, would you mind running an errand for me?"
Leave my apartment and I'll consider it,
I reply.
"Are you sure you'd like us to leave?"
asks the Dominator.
"I don't think you'd be able to explain any of this to the police, and they will definitely have questions for you. It would be better for you if we act like you've never made that remark. Now about that errand."
Were the cops to show up, I would not know how to answer a single one of the questions I'm sure they would ask me, such as, what the fuck is going on here? And is any of it illegal? The dominatrix is into some stuff I don't think you could even find in hentai. I protest that the materials which they have commanded are illegal and gross. The dominatrix replies they are legal in small enough quantities and that I cannot be stopped for transporting them. I protest that it is still raining outside and this material ought not to get wet. The dominatrix agrees to give me money for a taxi as the buses have stopped running.
"Where to?"
the cabbie inquires. I give him the address.
"Don't take this the wrong way,"
says the cabbie.
"but you're wearing the wrong colours to be seen at this end of town at this time of night."
I'll take my chances,
I reply. I'm only going to be there for 1 minute. My fare is doubled. The cabbie calls it danger pay. I am apparently that much of a liability. We drive to the place and I immediately feel unwelcome. The place is the back door of a bungalow in a medium shitty neighborhood. I knock the secret knock as instructed by the Dominator. 3 scary people greet me at the door, take a look at me, and give me exactly 10 seconds to explain what I'm doing here, or they will forcefully dress me as the Easter Bunny and hunt me for sport. I reply that I'm receiving supplies for the Dominator, and I hope that they understand me because the words coming out of my mouth make no sense in any language. For a moment, nobody can think of what to say to me. It is awkward.
"You tell your friend that they're into some fucked up shit,"
replies one of the 3 scary people.
"Now get inside before someone sees us talking to you."
I step inside. I am immediately subject to witnessing a trans-life orgy. People who look as though they've been murdered, axes in the skull, missing ribs, are panting and sweating as they fuck each other in exchange for cash. If you ignored their disfigurements and mortal wounds, you would easily mistake them for members of the living. I am not into this perversion, but many other people are, as they have lined up to pay for this privilege. Just so we're crystal clear, all of the sex is definitely consensual. All participating parties are having a wonderful time. They just happen to involve zombie hookers.
"Here's the stuff,"
says a scary person to me.
"Sorry for making you wait. Now fuck off."
I am more than happy to fuck off. That was the grossest thing I have ever seen. It will probably be my last thought the moment that I die. There is no unseeing it. The cabbie returns me safely to my apartment and doubles the danger pay, following a high-speed car chase involving a known terrorist organization. It turns out that I wore more than one wrong color on this evening. The chase lasts roughly an hour and the fare ended up being the exact cash amount supplied by the Dominator, tip included, to the nickel. The moment I step out of the cab, there is a spontaneous torrential downpour of ice pellets and snow. Yeah, snow. At this time of year. Tonight would be a really shitty night to be homeless.
"Did you get the stuff?"
asks the Dominator after I've returned home. I hand over the bounty and the Dominator frowns.
"It's not your fault. I just didn't know there were multiple brands of it. It'll have to do."
If I fall asleep, I could very well never wake up again. It's a tough world for a guy who's seen zombie hookers. I'll take my chances anyway. So far, those tree guys have left me alone. We've even played cards and enjoyed contraband. I'm still sleeping on the couch. I do not know the state of my room. If I had the cash, I would just move out and replace my stuff. I do not have the cash. I wake up to my alarm. I have an hour before my bus to work takes off. The apartment is empty. I mean, totally empty. Where the fuck is all my stuff? Thank you for listening. That was Zombie Hookers.
Don't forget to like the video, it does help to boost the channel.
Leave a comment for the algorithm.
There's new stories every Sunday.
Not to mention the shorts on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So subscribe.
And ring the bell.
Thanks, guys. And, as always, stay sleepless.